What's up, guys? Check out this guy's game whenever it comes out. Also, this video is about the top 5 games I am working on currently in Dreams PS4. My top 5 games. I'm not even sure if I have 5. One of them's this new rail shooter that I'm making. I just started working on this one. Another one's a real-time strategy game called God's Hand. And then another one is this skating game. I expect that one to be done around whenever Dreams actually releases. I could get this one done in time too, as well as this one, put a few stages in there, and then probably update it a few times. And I also have tutorials for how to do this stuff. I have a racing game tutorial now. I'm not going to make a racing game. Well, I might in the future, but not right now. There's a lot of stuff on my hands already, as you can see. I'm also working on a fighting game, and I worked on this one since probably 3 months ago I started. Then I took a little bit of a break. Right now I'm just calibrating the hitboxes to each character, and then I'll be done with that. It's a little tedious, but it's not hard at all, if that makes sense. So I'll show you guys these games that I'm working on. These are the stages for the fighting games and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot. Another game, the first game that I actually started working on was a game called Polybius. It's going to be a shooter, first-person shooter, and it's all the way over here somewhere because I started working on that in the beginning. There's some games that I've already released and finished, 2 to be exact. One of them is a space shooter, kind of like Galactica, and the other one is a point-and-click survival horror type game. You just have to, it's sort of like seeing how long you can survive by memorizing where to click, if that makes sense. Other than that, I just made a whole bunch of sculptures, 3D models. If you saw anything you liked, I most likely made it, even some of the guns. Here's Polybius. So I've showed people this one a lot, and it's my most story-driven game so far. We can go ahead and start off with this. I'm not going to go too in-depth into it. I'm just going to click like something, you know, cool, and then I'm going to like probably close out because I played it so many times on my channel. But I know some of you guys might be interested in what Dreams can do and what you can do with Dreams. So we're going to jump in here as soon as it begins to load. Hopefully no errors have happened since I played this. If it doesn't load, then holy crap, I need to delete some stuff or something. Okay, there we go. So this right here is a Outlast type stage where you can hide in the lockers and stuff. So yeah, you can do all that sort of stuff in Dreams if you didn't know. This right here is sort of like a Nemesis type thing. You'll see your first real, well, not your first real challenge, but I'd say it's your scariest challenge in Dreams. Oh my gosh. In the game. So you can only see creatures while that tape is activated. So if the tape goes off, then they turn invisible. So I'm still working on this, and we got up to there, and it's really interesting what I've done with it. Maybe play one more. This one I haven't showed off as much. I like how I did the music with it. Like, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's actually really cool. Like, I actually really like this part of the game. This part of the game, you learn more about the story. So I looked up a lot of the lore to get, like, this is real stuff. Well, I mean, Polybius isn't real, but this is tied to the real lore that you can find online yourself. So as you can see, I put a lot into that. That's the first game that I actually started making, I do believe. We'll go ahead and show you guys the fighting game, probably last, because I showed that a lot off too. So now we'll go to some new stuff that I'm working on. This new shooter that I'm working on is more like House of the Dead, because in this one, it's a rail shooter, like Umbrella Chronicles. And I just started this one, so don't expect too much from it. But I'll probably be able to finish this one really quickly. It's really, as you can see, I like it. I think that this one, I wanted to do something like this with Polybius. Like, you see how as the story changed, it started changing like the gameplay mechanics. I wanted to put this in Polybius in some way, shape, or form whenever you're playing as the second character, which is the main character's brother trying to find his brother and whatnot. So I might do that with Polybius. Then we have the real-time strategy game. This one isn't going to be too hard to complete either, because I just realized I could use trigger zones to make it to where the main enemy can move really easily, so I'm probably going to do that. You can also use laser scopes. I made a tutorial with laser scopes, so no music yet. So this is called God's Hand. So if the enemy keeps moving that way, it's because I'm still tinkering his AI, but you can see how this one's going to be kind of interesting. I got to get some of the stuff done. No music yet. And then here is Skateboard Game. Just about finished. If you don't hold triangle, then, you know, if you get too high. And it's going to be like a time trial type thing. I'm guessing some of these games I'll just release and then finish them as time goes on, if that makes sense. I think that'll be the best thing to do. Well, this one I really enjoyed making this one, and someone told me that I had his foot on the wrong part of the skateboard. Like I had it at the very end, so I put it more in the middle, because apparently that's called something, like skateboarders call it something, push something, I don't know. So we had to change that, because it's we had to get it right. It wasn't too hard to fix it though. We fixed it, I hope I got it in the right place. It actually does look better, and the gameplay actually did become better once I did that, so thanks for whoever pointed that out, if you're still on this channel. Then we also made a tutorial for inventories, because does it still work? Did I change it? Yeah. So I made a tutorial for inventories, because I wanted inventories to be really, really lit and really cool. So I guess this right here is more for your Skyrim type games. Hopefully I'm saying Skyrim right. Usually I say it wrong for whatever reason. Then we have... So one more, or is that it? I'm working on one more. Oh yeah, the fighting game. So the fighting game is going to have a few characters. This right here is where I'm putting all the characters' hitboxes connected to each other. So this right here is like going to look really crazy. Like I'm trying to make like an 80-player game. There should honestly be a battle royale fighting game. A battle royale fighting game. That's what we need to see. Like, I don't know. I think I know how it could be done. Like, you know, it could be like every part of the level is like a panel, right? And you're like searching for each player. And you only start the fight whenever, you know, you're in the same room as the player. That's one way you could probably do that. I'm pretty sure it's been done before, but not like, you know, in a popularized way. So it looks crazy, right? That's just me putting the hitboxes together. It'll be more like this. And if the hitboxes like seem a little funny, it's because I still gotta add sounds to the punches and stuff. That'll be pretty easy though. I got a lot on my plate, man. We got a lot on our plates. But these are the games that I'm working on. I think the most ambitious one would probably be the Polybius game. Then after that, maybe the Ps4 game. It's a rhythm game, a rhythm type game. The reason it's a rhythm game is because the notes come down at the same time as the music. But I have to find it real quick. I think it's this. So you could actually easily do this yourself and make Guitar Hero. Just, you know, you'd have to like... This is what you would have to look up. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a second. So the point is to keep the notes in the air. And as you can see, as a new sound happens, they start dropping down different types of notes. That's the point of it. I gotta make it a little bit easier. So as you can see, it can get pretty hectic. But if you're going to make a rhythm game the way that you're probably wanting to make it, I just recently found something up here called Neon something, and it looked like the strings that Guitar Hero has. This right here, Neon Road Small. I think this is what you would need, something like this. And then you can get the notes to come down with it. I have rarely played rhythm games, but, you know, if I played a little bit more, then I'd understand how to make them like I know how to make just about every other game that you can see. Recently, I made a classic RPG tutorial also, and that one's really easy to do. Oh, wait, no, my first game that I made was an RPG, a platform multi-RPG. And I wanted to do something like this, but I didn't know how to do it at the time. But you can really easily make these games. It'd be real easy to make these. Just look up the channel playlist tutorials and you can learn how to do all the stuff that I'm showing you right here. It's all in my channel playlist. The first game that I made, it's all the way back here, so I'm not going to show it, but it was pretty lit. You can see gameplays of it on YouTube already if you type in, what was it called? We might scroll through here just to see the name of it real quick. I also make a lot of rap music and, as you can see, artwork and sculpture, so your boy pretty much knows just about everything whenever it comes to what you can do in dreams. I made this realistic sculpture. It took me a minute. I think sculpting might be the hardest thing to do in dreams, but it's not too hard once you get the controls down. It's all about having a feel for the controls. It's called Linger. That's the first game that I made, and if I press continue, maybe it'll. As you can see, I put a lot into my freaking games. It's kind of funny. This is probably more than top 5. I think it's a good 7 if I still remember how to count. So this is where I learned a lot of stuff whenever it comes to dreams. I still like this game. This is the first one that I learned how to make. And if I were to have made it now, I would have made it a little bit differently. Just a tiny bit, because there's actually a lot of things I could have did easier than the way that I did them. But as you can see, it's really interesting and really cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to follow me on Dreams when you get it, and check out the channel playlist for tutorials on how to do all the stuff that you see in here. And if you need to know how to draw, do art, stuff like that, I have a channel playlist specifically for that stuff also. You can now find these playlists right by clicking on my channel and then scrolling down. And also you can just go to the playlist section. Thank you guys so much for taking your time out of your day to watching my video, and peace.